Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, my dear students. I welcome you all in my class. So first, as you all know that we have started our lesson, that is responsibilities of youth, from lesson number 1 from the edition 2020 by KPK textbook board. So as you all know that this is a speech by our great leader Quaid Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah. And that was in fact the speech delivered at the Dhaka University convocation on 24th March 1948. That was recorded by Radio Pakistan. As I have told you people earlier that if you want to listen this speech, it is available on YouTube. Okay, so as we have done one of our lecture regarding the text, so no, today we are going to finish, or we are going to continue with the rest of the text. What we have done yesterday as the speech, this is the address to the students. So our great leader, as I have told you people, that he has all the time laid great importance towards the studies, and especially he has considered and he has conveyed the students as the real maker of Pakistan. And for he has given the message that studies as the first obligation for the students. On the other hand, he has emphasized all the time for the hard work and devotion towards the studies and all the matters in their lives. So there are two mighty forces in the life. There one is pen and other one is the sword, right? So he emphasizes on the importance of studies, but studies is not only the matter here. Our great leader Quaid Azam would be talking about, but let's recap what he has talked about. First of all, he just pays his gratitude towards the people, those have called him for that convocation, definitely the vice chancellor. Then he just make his speech, he addresses the people there, the audience there, and while addressing he just congratulates the student and just let them realize that there is a difference between the student those have passed last year and those are going to have their degree now. What is the difference? As the student for in 1948, those are going to get their degree. In 1948 they would be having an independent state now, as this blessing was not being cherished by their predecessors. On the other hand, being independent doesn't mean that they have got the license or the permit to do whatsoever they want to do. There are certain code of conduct, certain limitations they have to follow. So what are those need of ours? The need of ours is for the student is to follow the constructive spirit rather than to go for the militant spirit. So he makes a difference between that constructive spirit and militant spirit, that it is not an easy task to run a government. It is easy to go to jail, to raise voices. Then he just make them realize about all that bloodshed, all those sacrifices that has been given in order to get our own homeland Pakistan, in order to make our country free. Thousands of the people, million of the people were made homeless, and there were many of the people those just sacrificed their lives. But this shouldn't be futile, as what the challenge they have to face now, the challenge that we are and that state is facing now, at that time in 1948, was to rehabilitate those all refugees. On the other hand, they have to just find or make a plan that how they are going to just be to settle them. So this passage has also passed. Then he stressed on the importance of continued vigilance and by the part of the student. Okay, so my dear student, we are going to start from our lesson from page number 3, the very last lines. That's your main occupation should be in fairness to yourself, in fairness to your parents, and indeed in fairness to state, and devote your attention solely to your studies. So what Quaid Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah has said towards them, that definitely he has just drawn the attention of the student towards the difficulties, all the challenges, all the sacrifices that had been made in order to get the independent state. Okay, on the other hand, definitely this was all very much evident that all their sacrifices and all the sacrifices are of the people, they shouldn't be go futile, they shouldn't be fruitless. But no, this is the responsibility of us, of the student at that time, that they have to play the role of as a fair mean to be personally committed, to be honest to oneself. So it is very important, either you are a student, either you are any individual, for any of the individual, it is very important to be committed to oneself. One who is committed to his own self, her own self, in fact he or she is committed to, she is sincere to everyone. So what is the demand, that your main occupation, your main task, your main objective should be to fairness to yourself, to be sincere and fair to yourself, to be committed to yourself, to be fair to your parents, you should abide by them, and indeed the fairness to the state. And what is the demand, what the state demands from you, you should be fair about that thing, to devote your attention solely to your studies and being the student. It is your foremost duty to study, as the studies is the first obligation. It is only thus that you can equip yourself for the battle of life. Very important, please underline that this, as the great leaders, whenever we talk about them, their speeches, their words, they are all the time universal, or we may say them that they are evergreen. They couldn't be, they are for all the time, they are for all the ages, as those at many of the decades before he has talked about that thing, that you have, by getting better education, you are going to equip yourself for the battle of life that lies ahead of you, that is ahead of you. So what are the traits, what are the characteristics that are needed for a practical person? Only thus will you be an asset and source of strength and the pride to your state. So only then you can be a source of strength and pride to your state, once you are committed to yourself, once you are committed to your parents, once you are committed to your country, and above all that you must be equipped with all the necessary elements that are necessary, all those characteristics, all those traits that are very much valuable, that are very much necessary for a strong personality. Only then you could be a source of strength and pride to your state. Only thus you can assist in solving a great social and economical problems, as at that time these all social and economical problems were being faced, and even we are facing now, that confront it, enable it to reach its destined goal among the most progressive and strongest nation of the world. So this was in fact the direct message towards the student, towards the youth of that time, that once you are in order to give benefit to your country, the individual of all those countries should be strong enough mentally, intellectually. They should have that strength to solve all the problems of the country. By solving or by confronting all the challenges, we may make that country progressive and strong. My young friends, to whom he is addressing the students, I would therefore like to tell you a few points about which you should be vigilant and beware. So here are the few tips, here are the few, you can say, he is going to list down different merit, he is going to tell about the different characteristics or the traits of personality, that how they can be a better citizen. Firstly, so number one, firstly, beware of the fifth columnist among ourselves. Okay, very important, who is very first thing that he wants, besides these advices that he has given in the previous paragraph, who is the fifth columnist? It is in fact a term for group or supporter of the people. Those are the supporter of enemy, and they discuss chaos, destruction in any of the nation, right? So fifth column is any group of people who undermine a large group from within, usually in favor of an army group or nation. They are concealed enemies. They are in fact they're concealed enemies. We couldn't see them, but they just devise such plans to destroy the progress of the nation. So what is that thing that we have to be aware of? That fifth columnist among ourselves. Secondly, guard against the weed out, guard against them, and weed out selfish people who only wish to exploit you so that they may swim. So very important, this is the in fact the key to success, that you have to guard against those people, those are selfish, and those want, and weed out them and just pluck them out, as we just weed out unnecessary weeds around the plant. So what is weeding out? Weeding out mean, in a very metaphorical way, our great leader has told about that, as in a garden, if we are going to have certain weeds around any of the plant, it is going to take these weeds are going to take the strength of the plant on, as well as the beauty of the plant. So what is your role? That you have to weed out. When we are going to weed out those all unnecessary herbs or weed around the plant, definitely the plant will get the strength. On the other hand, the beauty of the garden would be enhanced, and this is the work of the gardener there. So who is the gardener at this time? The gardeners are in fact their youth, the young people, those are going to get their degrees. So you have to weed out their selfish people who not only wish to exploit you so that they may swim, so they may just go to their own destination. Thirdly, learn to judge who are really true and really honest and unselfish servants of the state who wish to serve the people with heart and soul and support them. Very important. Just see, this is the key to success. All these things, these are not only for that we have to distinction between false and true and false. We have to distinction between the fair and the foul. This is in fact the criterion that could be followed in any time of life. So what is that? First of all, we have to find out all those people, those are working against the against the country. Okay, then we have to find out those people, those are selfish. Being selfish means that you can do anything, and in order to achieve your ambition, you can do anything. Then we have to find out those people, those are having their we have to find those people, those are honest, as those honest people are going to serve the nation without any condition. So this is in fact the people, those are going to serve with heart and soul, and they are going and support them. As we are going to give them the strength, definitely they will just get a better position. There is another matter that I would like to refer to. So what is that matter? My young friend, hitherto till now you have been following the rut. What is that rut? That behavior, a habit. What is that habit? You get your degrees, and when you are thrown out of the university in thousands, all that you think and hanker, all that you think and decide for its government service is government service. Okay, so what he wants, that as you all know, I want to bring you the one thing more in your notice, that what this has become a convention, this has become a habitat, this has become a behavior, that once you pass out from your university, and definitely there would be graduates in 100 and the 1000 of the students, you all people desire for the government service. So it is even it is very much applicable even for today. So what, as your vice chancellor has rightly stated, that the main object of whole system of education and the system of government existing hitherto till now was really to help well trained, well equipped clerks. So my dear students, you must know that as far as the education system of subcontinent was concerned, Lord Macaulay, they have made the policy, they wanted to have the good clerks. Okay, so even then, unfortunately, we are following that rule, that you can say the map or the plan or the made for the studies. So what they wanted that there should be clerks, there shouldn't be not high ranked people though in subcontinent. So they have devised that educational policy according to that, Lord Macaulay especially. So what they wanted they wanted that the people of subcontinent should work in a very lower position, and they must not. And what is the purpose of it? Doesn't mean that we are thinking we are taking clerks as an inferior, but they have to only abide by all the orders of the officer. They do not think about by themselves. So our great leader is just drawing the attention of the people towards them, that our old system of education was only to get the clerks ready, well qualified clerks ready. So, and the government system is again that is making you, that is preparing you for all these things. Of course, some of them went higher and found their level, but the whole idea was to get well qualified clerks. Civil service was mainly staffed by the Britons, and the Indian element was introduced later and went on progressively. Well, the whole principle was to create a mentality, a psychology, and a state of mind that an average man, when he passed his BA or MA, was to look for some job in government. So, what he wants to convey, that after getting your degree, this was made a habit, this was made a convention, this was made a, you can say, a ritual or a tradition, or it was made a behavior, that once you have got your degree, so what is your destination, what could be your destination? Your better destination could be the government job and nothing more than that. But what is that government job? That government job, most of the people, they were being hired as the clerk, well qualified clerk, but no doubt some of them got in the progress and promotion, but all couldn't get it. So what should be the motive, what should be your objective? Excuse me. I know, and you all know what has been really the result of this. Our experience has shown that an MA earns less than a taxi driver, and most of the so-called government servants are living in a more miserable manner than menial service. Then, so he just here makes a difference. It doesn't mean that he is against the education, or he wants to convey something else. In fact, he wants the student to realize that working with or with hands, manual work, or working as a labor, it's not undesirable. Okay, so he says that I do know that there are the people, as it has become a habit, it has become a behavior, that once you have got your degree, you must go towards the government job. So it is not having any you can say exposure, it is not having any chances for the progress. So you remain in the state where you were. On the other hand, he compared that as far as your earning is concerned, financial condition is concerned, it remains unstable, and even other servants may get it in a better way, who are employed by well-to-do people. No, I want you to get out of that rut, that habit and mentality, and especially know that we are in free Pakistan. Okay, so we do not need to serve people for sticking only for looking after, hankering after the government job and sitting on a seat for years and years, but we have to make progress. Government cannot absorb thousand impossible. It means that we cannot offer all those thousand of that pastor student, that the degree holders, but in the competition to get government service, most of you will be demoralized. You are going to be demoralized. This is very factual. This is in fact the reality, that once, as you even we know, even nowadays we may see that people with their higher education, they go for CSS, PPSC and different examination, competitive examination, but they cannot qualify them, and what happens, they cannot even find their way and destination, and they become demoralized. So he is going to suggest them another way. Government can only take a certain number, and the rest cannot settle down to anything else. And being disgruntled mean being discontented, or always ready to be exploited by a person who have their own access to grind. Very important, very true, and very practical. What is that once you didn't get the objective, once you didn't get the desired result, you wanted to go for the government job, but you couldn't get it. So what's happened? Once You are not once you are discontented, once you are not contented, settled with the things that are upon you, with the things that you cannot get. So what happens? You would be exploited by the person who have their own access to grind. Those have their own personal wishes. Those have their own selfish wishes. So what he in fact our great leader wants to convey, that in order to get the job, or in order to be get you couldn't get the job, so ultimately you become you just become demoralized, or you may be discouraged from the system, or from that fact that why shouldn't get the education. And in that scenario, in that unemployment, you may become a tool in the hands of any selfish person who is going to use you, who is going to ex his client, who is going to use you for his own personal work based on some selfish desire. So in this way, the corruption in the society that is promoted, and this is happening even now, that our young or youth, they do not get the desired place, and they just become fixed towards that thing, that they want to get this job or that job, or this place or that place. And what happens once they do not get, they just become discouraged, and they do not want to do anything. And meanwhile, they just meet any of the person, who is selfish, and they become the tool in the hand of that person. So he just gives them a very clear picture that what is ahead after they would be thrown out from that university life. What is ahead life is practical. They are aware, as he has he has clearly said in the start of his speech, that you are at the threshold of life, threshold of practical life. So what is going to happen in the practical life? The things or the situation that are not going to be desirable, even they are going to have the highest degree in their hands. No, I want that you must divert your mind, your attention, your aims and ambition to other channels and other avenues. The chances and fields that are open to you, and even increasingly become so. So now I want you to divert your mind, to change your mind, to come out of that behavior that you can say tradition, your attention, your aims and ambition. And if you cannot get one, you cannot adjust yourself, you cannot get one desired position, you may divert you may just channelize the other thing as well. Okay, you may make other opportunities for you, because there are many ways to get the progress. There is no shame in doing manual work or labor, very important. So one of the greatest leader, he is saying that there is no shame in doing manual work and labor. And these all advices, they are so practical, and you can say close to reality, that we as a student, or even you people, do not, if we wouldn't be reading that thing, that address, or sorry, that speech. So these are the things that stuff we couldn't find until we just get the hard experience of the life. So what he says, that there shouldn't be any shame in doing manual work or labor. There is an immense scope in technical education, for we want technically qualified people very badly. So if we are all going to work by pen, we are going to write, and definitely education is a necessary element. Okay, without that you cannot survive in the society. But education and technical education, they are very different things. Okay, being skilled, being knowledgeable and being skilled, that are two different things. Being informed and being educated, that are two different things. So you have got your education, but you haven't got your skills. So it is very much important that we want the skilled people, we want the technical people. You can learn banking, commerce, trade, law, etc., which provides so many opportunities now. Already you'll find that new industries are being started, new banks, new insurance companies, new commercial firms are opening, and they will grow as you go on. Now, sorry, where we were? Okay, as you go now, these are avenue, these are the chances and then fields open to you. So he wants to change the mindset of the people, he wants to change the mindset of the young people, that you only thought about the government jobs. No, there are the many opportunities now, that you may go for other fields as well. for the banking, for the commerce, for the technical education, as we want this. So this is in fact all the skills, all the profession, all the you can say technical things, they have their proper weightage and importance in the life. It doesn't mean it couldn't happen that in any of the life, in any of the country, only literate people are going to get the progress, they are going to be progress. No, we do need all the people with versatile, you can say, education, with versatile profession, then the country may flourish. He then goes on, think of them and divert your attention to them towards all those different things, and believe me, you will there benefit yourself more than by merely going in for government service and remaining there in what I would say a circle of clerkship. Working there from morning till evening is most dingy and uncomfortable condition. So working there, it is from under someone, under the supervision of someone, not exposing your own creative skill, constructive manner, or productive habits. So what are you going to be? You are going to be gloomy, you are going to be drab, you would be only monitored, and your habits would be robotic, only going in the early in the morning and coming back in the evening. That is the all. You will be far from happy and far more prosperous, which with far more opportunities to rise if you take the commerce and industry, and will thus be helping not only yourself but also your state. I can imagine, give you one instance. So what is that instance? That I know a young man who was in government service 4 years ago. He went into banking corporation on 2000. He on 2000 rupees because he had studied the subject of banking, and today he is the manager in one of their firms and drawing 1500 rupee a month in just 4 years. So he just gives the example. In fact, he wanted to draw the attention of that. He wanted to break that monotonous behavior of the people where they are just having the desire to complete their degree and go towards any government service. So he wants to break that circle. He wanted them to come out that circle and explore the new fields of life. He just gives the example that manager, he is just earning good handsome amounts now at that time. These are the opportunities to have, and I do impress upon you things in these terms. Okay, so this was all for this speech. That this is in fact a track. That is not the completed one, definitely. So what we have got the notice, we have no notice that this speech is repleted with the advices for the student to when they are on the threshold of the life, and they are going to enter into practical life. Now he has not only just given them the advices towards the life ahead, but also he has drawn their attention towards the past as well, that what they have sacrificed, for what they have sacrificed, and what is the future plan, what is their role ahead. So that was all for the lecture. I hope so that the things are very much clear. Please make the important points, please make the notes of important points or synopsis of the speech, so then you will be getting to know every paragraph is having a different point to discuss, and no doubt it is related one another. Then you are going to understand that what is the message of this speech. Okay, take good care of you. In case of any query, please feel free to contact me. Allah Hafiz.